Hi, Wilhelmina Lutheran Church. Pastor Dan here with a brief update for you and some important announcements about Wilhelmina, how the summer has been going, and what's ahead for us in the future. First off, I just want to quickly apologize for not keeping better up to date with our social media pages. It's been a busy summer for everyone. Summer is usually a very ethereal time for the church. Lots of people going off on vacations, other events, weddings, special social events. Our farmers getting ready for, I'm sure, what's going to be a very busy harvest this fall. But otherwise, things have been continuing on smoothly at Wilhelmina ever since the beginning of July. Even this month of August, which in the past we've usually taken this month off to rest and recuperate for a busy fall, we've actually been conducting services this August since COVID has interrupted our schedule so often and so rapidly. We decided to carry on and carry through with some more somewhat casual Sunday services during this month. Even last week, we actually got to celebrate our first baptism in a while, and actually the very first baptism that I ever got to officiate. So that was a really fun time, and we had a really nice turnout for that. So I hope that you can join us this Sunday for our last August service together, and also mark on your calendars for the very last Sunday of August. Not this week, but next week. So the very last August of the month, August 28th, is going to be our community service. So that is Kingman Baptist, Salem Lutheran, and Salem Mennonite and Wilhelmina joining together for a joint service in Kingman, and that'll be at the community hall there. So that's going to be August 28th at Kingman in their community hall, and we're going to start at 10:30. So make sure that you are there for that. We're going to have service, worship together, and we're going to have a potluck afterwards, and I believe a good old-fashioned game of baseball, if I'm not mistaken. I hear it's quite competitive between Kingman Baptist and Salem Mennonites, so maybe we'll get ourselves involved, who knows. But anyways, if you can make it out for that, we'd love to have you. Just a great way to kick off not only just the end of summer, but also the beginning of this fall season, which is always exciting as we begin a new chapter of our church season. Now, another thing I wanted to mention, many of you already know this, but for those of you who may not be attending our church on a regular basis or who have been out of the loop, about a month ago I made a very important announcement about my future at Wilhelmina Lutheran Church. It was with a heavy heart that I have decided to step down from my role as lay pastor at Wilhelmina. Some of you know that I've been taking online studies with a seminary down in Minnesota, and I've been slowly working away at that. And after 2 years of that, and reflecting on where I was at, reflecting on my progress, reflecting on my growth, I determined that it was time for a bit of an adjustment, a bit of a change. Working at Wilhelmina has been a wonderful joy, but I realized I'm at a point in my life where I really need to take the time and the focus and the attention to really get to my studies and develop myself further, both as a leader, as a future servant in ministry, and just as someone who is going to be a steward of God's word. And I feel like this is the best step for me right now. Of course, this was not an easy decision. Coming out straight out of COVID, I feel like we were just kind of getting things started up again. We've had really nice turnouts for the last few months. Even in the summer, we've been getting some nice gatherings. But unfortunately, time is not always on our side, and I felt this was the best decision for myself. So I let the council know of my decision back in late June and made the public announcement back in early July. I meant to notify you all online who may not have known, so my apologies for the delay. It's been a very busy summer, and I'm just trying to keep everything in order and organized while I get ready for this big transition down to Fergus Falls, Minnesota. With that being said, I'll have a bit more to say later about my time and reflecting on the experience I've had serving Wilhelmina, but I just want to say a really quick thank you so much. Thank you for your encouragement to all of you who have supported me and kindly welcomed me and warmly welcomed me into this community that has had so much significance in my family's life. As many as you know, My grandmother attended this church way back in the day, and it's just been a nice time to not only get started in ministry in a very supportive and positive environment, but also to do so in a way that's connected to my family heritage, and that means a lot. So thank you so much for all your kindness, all your support. I really am sorry and sad to be leaving you. It was definitely not easy to come to that decision. There was so much more I was hoping to do and wanted to do, but part of ministry is making those tough choices, making those tough decisions, even when we have to sacrifice something. And I believe this is one of those moments, especially for us who are in pastoral work. So I hope that you'll forgive me if you're disappointed by this news. Please know that myself, along with all of our other congregations and many people who support this church, are in fervent prayer for another pastor to be found and to come in to take in and take on this role of taking care of this community. Please, I ask that you would humbly pray for myself for a couple of things. First off, just the transition. I've lived in Alberta for a very long time, and so going down to America is going to be quite a big shock and a big change, and it's a big step in my life. So please pray for the transition as I head off very soon, and also for financial provision. Seminary is not cheap, and so I go knowing that I am in need of God's provision and support to be able to cover those expenses. So please keep me in your prayers for those things, as well as I move forward to get ready in seminary. So that's about all of our announcements for the rest of August. I hope that you can join us. This Sunday will be my last Sunday at Wilhelmina physically. And then the Sunday after, we'll be in Kingman for our community service, which I will be preaching at. And so you'll get to hear me one last time share God's word in this context, in this role, and I hope you could be there with us. Otherwise, I hope you're all having a wonderful summer. If I don't get to connect with you before I go, don't worry. I can feel the love already. I've gotten so much support. Thank you so much again for all your kindness and generosity over these last 2 years as I've served here at Wilhelmina. But for now, have a great rest of your week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.